Hello, I am Michael LaCourse. This is my thesis proposal for my capstone thesis for the EVSP 601 capstone proposal class at American Public University. In July 2019, the working title of my proposal is Effects of Stream and Wetland Restoration on Terrestrial Wildlife. My thesis seeks to answer two important questions. Firstly, what are the effects of stream and wetland restoration on terrestrial wildlife? And two, how do these effects compare to the natural state and the pre-restoration or modified state? These two questions are important to ask as we are gaining a deeper understanding of the micro and macro ecosystems and how they interact with each other. In recent years, we have learned that there is no such thing as no interaction between ecosystems. If one ecosystem, such as a stream, is modified, then this will influence the ecosystems surrounding it, which in turn affects their adjacent ecosystems. Therefore, I have developed the following thesis statement. Through the restorative efforts in stream and wetland ecosystems, the terrestrial ecosystem is positively and negatively affected dependent on the approach to ecosystem restoration. This statement will need some background information before we go into the analytic procedures and why it is so significant that we research this interaction. For many years, we as a species have modified stream and wetland ecosystems to suit our needs. This habit of modification goes back several thousands of years. Through human population center increase in antiquity, many streams have been modified for a long time. However, in the modern era, we have increased this modification rapidly to help us advance in agriculture, industry, and settlement. Often, the ecosystems had to make way for human habitation, human use, and simply for human sustenance. Today, we are starting to understand that this behavior is not only damaging to the ecosystem we have modified, but that the repercussions of the modifications affect all interconnected ecosystems. For example, the Mississippi River has lost many floodplains and adjacent wetland ecosystems, which historically have filtered out nutrients from the water column, mitigated flood risks, and improved stream biota in the river. Today, many watersheds, which are experiencing heavy agricultural pollution, empty into the Mississippi. However, due to the modifications, the Mississippi and its adjacent wetland ecosystems are no longer able to filter out the nutrients effectively. The Mississippi Delta, which empties into the Gulf of Mexico, now has too many nutrients in the water column and is creating a dead zone in the Gulf, which is marked by oxygen depletion and therefore biota depletion. These types of scenarios are also true for smaller streams and wetland ecosystems. In recent years, as our understanding of these consequences increased, we have, in some places, started to restore streams and wetland ecosystems to near natural state. We have realized that by restoring streams and wetlands, we increase the species diversity and occurrence of aquatic biota. However, one area which is not very well understood nor studied is how these restorative efforts affect the wildlife in the terrestrial ecosystems, especially in border systems such as riparian forests. However, knowing that these ecosystems are interconnected, one must consider these systems in restorative efforts to gain a holistic picture of the restorative efforts. The primary method to analyze the effects of stream and wetland ecosystem restoration on terrestrial wildlife shall be a review of the currently available literature on the subject. However, due to a lack of studies on the subject, the following interacting subjects will be reviewed to supplement the literature: the effect of stream and wetland restoration on terrestrial habitat, the habitat preference of terrestrial wildlife, repairing cover in modified, restored, and natural streams and wetlands, recovery of biota over time, and ecosystem and landscape connectivity. This will be supplemented by a secondary analysis of terrestrial wildlife counts in primarily modified, restored, and natural streams and wetlands and riparian ecosystem recovery. The significance of this proposed research is foremost to fill gaps in current knowledge. As mentioned previously, we do have an understanding that ecosystems interact. However, when we restore certain ecosystems with little regard or thought given to the adjacent ecosystems, the holistic picture is missing. This is sometimes even true within the ecosystems when only parts of the ecosystem are restored and others left modified. With this research, a holistic picture on ecosystem restoration will emerge, which is not only important in the planning and execution of restorative efforts, but will also directly affect the understanding in how separate ecosystems interact with each other and through their respective wildlife. Once this understanding is deepened, better planning can be conducted and the benefit of the restoration will increase exponentially. This is especially of significance in obtaining funding for restoration projects and to include all stakeholders involved. With deeper understanding, obstacles to overcome will be fewer and the ecosystems can recover better from modifications brought about by human encroachment. These are my references, and thank you for listening. Have a great day.